Alright, how's it going, guys? Today we're going to be analyzing who the Chicago Blackhawks should choose with their third overall pick in the 2019 NHL Draft. So, with Kakko, Jack Hughes basically solidified on going, the 1-2 punch, who should the Blackhawks choose with the third overall pick? Well, there's still lots of top-end talent in this draft, lots of people who could have really good top-end upside. Who knows? Who could be competing with, Jack Hughes and Kakko in about 3 years. So let's kind of go over, their current depth charts and who I believe they should draft positionally and not just who is ranked ahead of who. Alright, so let's start with the center depth. So right now, of course, they have Jonathan Toews, Dylan Strome, Anisimov, and then, others like Marcus Kruger. And other than that, they don't have a lot of top-end talent. We have some others like, Evan Barrett, Jake Wise, and some other prospects in their depth charts. And Dominic Cahoon is definitely a great player who had a really decent breakout season this year. On the left wing, we have Brandon Saad, Brendan Pierlini, Drake Caggiula, Chris Kunitz, the Team Canada savior. And then we have some other, prospects in their depth charts, like, Parker Fu, and that's basically it. And on the right wing, which I believe is actually way stronger than the left wing, we have Patrick Kane, DeBrincat, John Hayden, Sekera, McKenzie and Witzel, and just some other prospects in their system. Chicago's pretty interesting because they've been such a good team for so long. They don't have a lot of top end prospects, but they do have like a lot of prospects who are very intriguing who could have that breakout season. So it's kind of harder to judge their depth systems when they have a lot of guys who are more like lottery tickets rather than blue chip prospects. But again, they do have lots of guys who could turn out pretty good. On defense, we have a slowly aging core, but still a lot of pieces here. We have Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook, Eric Gustafsson, who has been playing fantastic. We have Connor Murphy, Forsling, Dahlstrom, and then some other great, and some other great futures like Bachvist, Chad Kreis, and who's the other one here? Oh, Nicholas Bowden. So to be honest, on defense, they have a really solid core. Obviously, there's a pretty clear decline of Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook, but other than that, we have a lot of really good pieces for the future. Another thing to note is that, with Corey Crawford and his injury history, it would be pretty important for Chicago to pick up a goalie. And I know there is a goalie in this draft who could potentially go in the first round. For some reason, he's just slipping my mind. I'll put him right here. It'd be interesting to see if perhaps Chicago could acquire, another pick in the first round to pick him up. All right, and so we kind of went over, the current depth charts. Who do I believe that they should choose? Well, there's a couple of names that come to mind. First one is Bown Byram. Bown Byram looks like just such a complete defenseman who has, not only is super responsible in their defensive zone, but he is a really great skater and has a lot of offensive upside. In my opinion, I compare him to like a Mark Giordano who just plays that, overall two-way game really well. Other than that, the other couple names that come to mind are, first of all, Dyal Cozens. Dyal Cozens is a really dynamic skater. And for his size, coming in around 6'3", 6'4", he looks like a fantastic pick. He can play the wing or in the center, and he looks like a really versatile, power forward player who can score goals and has a lot of offensive upside. Another player is Alex Turcotte, who's more that center role. He is a little bit injury prone. He does have a little bit of injury concerns concerning his hip, but he looks like a super dynamic centerman. Other notable, wingers we have is Boldy and Zegras, who could, either go top 5 or slip into the top 10 range. So when kind of analyzing Chicago's, depth charts, I guess I didn't fully go over it. In my opinion, they have a pretty solid, center depth with Jonathan Toews, Dylan Strome, and then some other bottom 6 players. Because with Dylan Strome, he had a really great breakout season last year. He can definitely man that 1-2 center position. And we have Jonathan Toews, who we of course know can man, that 1-2 spot as well. Others like, Cahoon, who looks like a really solid third line center. And we have others like Marcus Kruger and, Kempf, who can play that fourth bottom 6 position. Other than that, we do have some other futures like Jake Wise, who, even though he didn't have a great season in the NCAA, he could turn out to be all right. And just like I said before, they have like a lot of they have like a lot of lottery ticket prospects and not so much, blue chip. On left wing, I really feel like we're lacking here with Brandon Saad and Pierlini, being the top, left wingers. I see an issue with. So Brandon Saad, in my opinion, can be a solid second line, left wing. potential first line, but more of a fringe first line, better off on the second line. Drake Caggiula, in my opinion, he is a bottom six forward, and Brendan Pierlini does have some offensive upside, but in my opinion, he's more of a third line scorer. Of course, we do have some others like Graham Knott and Brandon Hagel, who could potentially be, fringe top six, bottom six forwards, and some others in their depth charts. On right wing, like I said before, we have a lot more strength here with Patrick Kane and DeBrincat just already there. That's their solid 1-2 punch. If not, DeBrincat plays on the first line. So DeBrincat is a left wing, right wing. He goes back and forth. Their wingers do lack in that, top end talent. On defense, we have an aging core, but I do believe they have some good defense for the future. But adding a Bown Byram would be so great to solidify their defensive core going into the future. So who do I think they should choose? Well, in my opinion, they have two options. The first one is Bown Byram. Bown Byram, like I said before, is that complete defenseman who could really fill out and complete their defensive core going into the future, knowing that players like Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook are going to be retiring soon. Especially with that Bown Byram, Adam Bockfist duo that could be super dangerous going into the future. In my opinion, the other place they need to draft is wing support. And with that being said, Dyal Cozens is their go-to. He is that ultimate two-way forward who has a lot of size, but he's just an amazing skater. It doesn't even make sense, his skating ability with the frame he has. He's also a really great goal scorer who has excellent vision and who can dish the puck just as well. So in my opinion, whether they go defense or they go winger, I believe either Dyal Cozens or Bown Byram is the way they should go. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. More to come. More prospect analysts on, which team should draft who coming up in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.